Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the March 2nd, 2010 meeting, and I would recognize a motion to that effect.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. First order of business after the minutes is to receive the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust 2009 Annual Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're pleased to present this to you today. Each of you should have a copy, at least of the final draft. We will have these printed in their final form over the next few weeks and get them ready for distribution. But with that said, we do have Brent Gooden here with the Gooden Group, who was in charge of creating this for the Trust, and he's here to make a presentation and answer questions that you may have.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it. This won't take very long, but let me just say this is the 6th time that we have been privileged to come before you to present the annual report. And to be completely candid with you, there are a lot of people probably do more work on this than I do, and they really need to be given the credit. And I'd like to start with Eric and Mark. The city staff is absolutely terrific, to say the least, and they have been extraordinary partners with us in putting together this presentation to you. Also, there is another company that is our design partners called Funnel Design. That's Sean and Brian. And they need to be given credit for the creative platform that you see before you, the design components. They have done also an exceptional job. And also John Cox to my left. John is our associate who works on a day-to-day basis with Eric and Mark, and who helped quarterback, if you will, the development, creativity, the writing, all the elements you see in the annual report. And so I want to give credit to where credit is due, and it's really due to all these individuals who have worked together collectively for the past 6 years to produce this. Also, Mr. Chairman, I know you've been here through the duration, several of you have, and on the board here, and we appreciate your continued support, your access, and your timeliness and responsiveness in working with us. This year's theme is taking shape, and this is a very important theme this year, because as the letter so notes from the chairman, that this is a time where we are now in the 3rd quarter of this 4-quarter game. And I think in the letter it talks about the finish line is in sight. And so this particular annual report really provides a lot of historical perspective for those in our community the past 6 years who may not be familiar with Mats for Kids and the incredible progress that's been made. So the words taking shape is a theme. Now, I'm going to go through each one of the pages, but I know you're going to sit there and you're going to study it, but you can see the design format as we talk about coming full circle. There is a strong emphasis in the annual report on bright, vibrant, vivid photography in order to, if you will, convey the images around the children and around the school facilities that make up the Mats for Kids. You can thumb through all the pages there. You'll see we believe our philosophy is the photographs provide the visual punch, if you will, and the copy provides the elaboration and the illumination and explanation. So you can run through it. You're going to see call-outs that are very important. Today is a time where people are really, if you will, challenged with time. So if someone wanted to go through the annual report and just read the various call-outs that you will see in there, from the captions on the photographs to the actual call-outs on the pages, they will be able to put together a picture of success in terms of how this program has unfolded in the past 8 years here in Oklahoma City to rebuild and reinvent the school district. So just run through those. I know there's some on the screen here, but I know you'll spend more time with it in your leisure to look at it. This will be distributed throughout the community to civic leaders, business leaders, and a lot of the folks who are very interested in the progress of our school district. I wanted to also reiterate that for me personally, this is truly a labor of love. Like Trustee Decker and Trustee Francisco, I'm also a product of the Oklahoma City Public Schools. If I understand right, Trustee Decker is from Southeast. He's a Spartan, a U.S. Grant General, and but as usual, it's a Northwest class of night that is quarterbacking today. So for the purple and gold, fight, fight, fight. So we're glad to be here. Also, all of us want to collectively as citizens say thank you to each one of you for volunteering to lead this charge. Commissioner Chairman Edwards, your study leadership and your study hand is greatly appreciated. and for all that's here, City Manager Couch and the group, thank you very much. We would like to say one thing. I don't want to embarrass Eric, but we do want to acknowledge the fact that he has been selected to head up MAPS 3, the $777 million initiative. And from our working with him and Mark through this time, we do not believe you could have selected a more capable person to lead that charge. And it's very evident because of the continuation of the fine projects, timing-wise, and everything with MAPS for Kids. I'll be glad to entertain any questions that you might have at this particular time, but we simply say thank you.
Are there any questions? Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Appreciate it, Brent. I'd recognize a motion to receive the report. So moved. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Next item is to approve the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust Semi-Annual Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's just coincidental today that we have both reports on the same meeting, but you should also have a copy of the semi-annual in front of you today. Some of the items that I'll bring to your attention, this is the 15th report. During this time period, which was fiscal year 9-10, July 1st through December 31st of 09, 3 projects were substantially completed, 2 were final accepted, 9 projects continued in major construction, 8 new contracts for construction were let, 14 projects continued in design, 8 new A&E contracts, nearly 1,700 additional computers installed, and computer networks installed across 17 schools in the district, were some of the highlights as a part of the design and construction progress. As we move to the inner portions of the report, which include the financials, tax allocations increased by over $60 million in new projects, and the remaining suburban account is about $20 million and declining as each and every new application is processed. As we look at the graphs, one of the biggest things that you'll note is on the pie chart. The last semi-annual report showed that there were about 13% of the projects remaining to be initiated, and we're down to 4%. That equates basically to the 5 middle schools that are interviewing this month and will enter into the A&E phase next month. And then lastly, as a part of the report, there were over 100 significant trust actions that were taken in the prior 6 months. And so substantial movement on the program, and we're continuing to do that in 2010. Be happy to answer any additional questions that you may have regarding the semi-annual.
Any questions? Seeing none, I would recognize a motion to approve this report.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. We now have 2 financial reports. Mr. Winger.
Thank you. We do have the details attached. The total trust revenue to date is $562,970,696. And again, we have about $20 million additional available for suburban district accounts ready to be claimed.
Any questions about the trust revenue and obligation report? Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Next, we are being asked to ratify the school payments.
Thank you. This is for the period of February 10th through March 9th. There were 65 sales tax payments exceeding $5.3 million, and there were $277,000 in 9 bond payments also made during that time frame.
Are there questions? I'd recognize a motion to approve or to ratify these payments.
So moved.
It's been moved. Or a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Moving into contracts. First, we're being asked to approve an architectural services contract with C.H. Guernsey & Company for project ES-74, which is an early start fire alarms group 3 at 10 schools.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the second part of a 2-part fire alarm project that we initiated several months ago. This is C.H. Guernsey. We successfully negotiated their contract for the second set of 10 schools. The first set of 10 being done by HSE Architects is already underway. Construction budget is $1.1 million for these schools, and this will add new fire alarm systems to each.
Questions? Motion to approve the contract?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Next, we're being asked to approve a contract for architectural services with LWPB Architecture for project ES-62 for Hayes Elementary School.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. LWPB is a repeat architect for the Maps for Kids program. They're on 2 previous projects, which included the Douglas High School and the Mark Twain Elementary School. They are back for Hayes. The contract has been negotiated, and we're ready to proceed following your approval.
Questions? Is there a motion for approval?
So move.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Next item is to ratify the issuance of and approve addenda numbers 1 and 2 and award the contract base bid plus unit prices to Downey Contracting, LLC in the amount of $578,000 and approve contracting bonds for project ES5A Eugene Field Elementary School repair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This was a project that we pulled out separate once we had the architect on board and learned that the roof was in a state of disrepair that it could no longer be one, be salvaged, or two, that we should go any length of time further to avoid further damage to the facility. Bids were received on this project. We did have 3 bidders. They were very consistent, so the plans were deemed very good. With the base bid, the project also came in under the estimate by nearly $198,000, and we're recommending approval.
Any questions? Is there a motion to approve? Moved. Been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Next item is to ratify the issuance of and approve addendas number 1 and 2, award contract base bid plus alternates 2 and 3 to W.L. McNatt & Company in the amount of $3,537,300 and approve contracting bonds for project ES46 Linwood Elementary School.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This project was bid on March the 2nd, and it did include 3 alternates. We're recommending 2 of those 3 today. The first alternate was for the complete replacement of a roofing system. The existing roof is being repaired under the base bid and is sufficient for this project. Alternate 2 is a temporary building that's needed to help phase the students as a part of construction. And alternate 3 were some additional lighting upgrades that were in the classrooms that the price received from the contractor was very fair, and we're recommending approval of its option also. W.L. McNatt is a repeat contractor for the Maps for Kids program, and we're recommending approval.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to approve this.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Next item is to recommend to the Board of Education of Independent School District number 89 that they accept project EB3H, Oklahoma Centennial High School Theater Lighting and Sound Reinforcement, and place the maintenance bond into effect.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is one of the wrap-up projects for the Centennial Project. Work is still underway for Phase 2 work, which is to be wrapped up in the coming month. This was for the sound and the lighting for the auditorium and the main gymnasium, which is complete and ready for acceptance.
Are there questions? Seeing none, I'd recognize the motion to approve this.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by like sign. Thank you. Mr. Couch.
Mr. Chairman, a couple things this morning. Only 5 schools are left pending AE interviews this month, as Eric mentioned. That's Jefferson, Roosevelt, Webster, Taft, and Rogers Middle Schools. And then the downtown elementary schools also remaining. We'll begin that selection process shortly. Upcoming bids is Parks Elementary, which will be bid on May 4th, Capitol Hill High School, which will be bid on May 25th, Eugene Field Elementary, which will be bid sometime in either May or June, and Southern Hills Elementary, which will be bid in either June or July. Community meetings upcoming: Eugene Field Elementary at 1550 North Klein. The final plans community meeting will be Monday, March 22nd at 6 p.m. Northeast Academy, 3100 North Kelly. That preliminary report community meeting will be on Tuesday, March 23rd at 6 o'clock. Monroe Elementary, 4810 North Lynn. Schematic Design Community Meeting will be Wednesday, March 24th at 6 p.m. Independence Middle School, 3232 Northwest 65th Street. Schematic Design Community Meetings will be Thursday, March 25th at 6 p.m. And Parks Elementary, 1501 Northeast 30th. The final plans community meeting will be Thursday, March 25th at 6 p.m. So if you'd like, you can almost hit one any night next week if you choose to go hit a community meeting. And our next trust meeting will be on Tuesday, April 6th. Be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Are there any comments by trustees?
If I may, Mr. Chair, I'd like to take this opportunity to, on my personal behalf, recognize the many years of service of School Board Member Thelma Parks, who was defeated in the recent election. But I think the message was to Ms. Parks to take a break. After serving on the school board for more than 20 years, but more importantly for serving as a teacher and a counselor in the Oklahoma City Public Schools for more than 30 years. And she served as my high school counselor some 30 years ago. And the record should reflect an apology to Ms. Parks for not taking the PSAT when she wanted me to. At the time, I said, why should I take some test that I don't have to take? But she thought that I could have been a National Merit semifinalist or something, and I didn't take it, and she never forgave me for that. So I just wanted to apologize.
Thank you. Any other comments from trustees? Any comments from staff? Citizens? Thank you. We're adjourned.